All right, so once again, good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so let me check first. All right, so we are 5. We are now 5. Okay. So we have Odi, Boom, Pepe, Paikal, and Grace. All right, Satang and Firm is still here. No. Okay, so Baikal and okay. So Haruka and Alice, not yet. Okay, anyway. So today we will just have a light discussion and that will be a review. All right, so this is a review for the 3 topics that we have for midterms. All right, Poon, can you recall one topic that we discussed? We have 3 topics for midterm. Okay, give me one. Can you recall, Poon? Yes. Any of the 3 topics.
Mean, right? Mean.
All about mean. All right, that's correct. Okay, so mean and data presentation. Okay, so that is one chapter, one topic. What else? Audi, can you remember one? We have already the mean and data. What else? The last one.
Parallel lines.
Parallel lines. Okay, parallel lines and angles. And the other one is all about congruence, especially congruent triangles. All right, so we have 3 topics for midterms. Okay, so we will review all 3 because after the new year we will have a short test. Okay, that would be like an assessment or like a midterm test, although not that long, but that is still part of midterm, and that is our midterm exam. Okay, so we will review the 3 topics that we have as fast as we can so that we can finish all. All right, especially the first topic on mean and data presentation, since that was quite a while ago. Okay, so let me share today's discussion that we will have. Review. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Can you see on your screen? Okay, that one. Can you see? Okay, okay. Let me share it again. Make sure. All right. So we are still 6. Okay. So we will focus on these 3 topics that we have. And okay, the first one is on chapter 10, all about mean and data presentation. Second is chapter 9 on congruence, especially on congruent triangles, the test in identifying congruency of 2 triangles, all right? And the third is all about parallel lines with transversals forming angles. And when we talk of angles, that would refer to the 3 we have the corresponding, we have the alternate, and we have also the interior angles. All right. So let us now start first with mean and data presentation. Okay. We all know that mean is the average of all values in a set of data. Now, to get the average in a set of data, we must add the data divided by the number of values. All right, so that is the formula for finding mean or average. Add all the data divided by the total number of values. Okay, so just like if you are to find the mean or the average of that set of data, then we will add it up divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Divided by 7. Okay? So that will be 4 plus 7 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 10 plus 8. That is in a set of data. So that will be 35 over 7, and that is equivalent to 5. That is the mean or the average. Okay? But it will be different when we talk about frequency table. Okay? It will be different because again, in a frequency table, you have there the number of tally or the number of values. And we have a separate data. So therefore, when we talk about mean or average in a frequency table, we multiply the data times the frequency. Again, multiply the data times the frequency plus the second data times frequency plus the third times frequency times the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and multiplied by its frequency. And then divided by the total number of frequency. All right, so that will be our guiding formula. X1 F1 plus X2 F2, all right, plus Xn Fn over F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4, right? So that will be the guiding. All right. Now, we try this example on finding the mean of that set of data. Okay, so we have there the score 5, 10, 15, 20, and we have also the frequency. All right, so that means to get the mean or the average, we multiply the data, the first times the frequency plus the second data times frequency. So that means 5 times 3 plus 10 times 2 plus 15 times 4 plus 20 times 1. All right. Okay, so that we divide that one with 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, so in that case, we have there, okay, so, where is that? All right. Okay, so there you go. That will be, we have there, okay, 15 plus 20 plus 60 plus 20 over or divided by the total value or total number of students, which is 10. Right? So therefore, we have there 115 divided by 10 equals 11.5. Okay? So that is the first. Okay, our second, sorry, that will be the second. Set of data and then frequency table. Okay, right after the mean, we will go to data presentation. Okay, so on your screen, you can see there's some more examples on finding the mean of a set of data and a frequency table. Just like number one, you have there 2.3 plus 3.4 plus 6.2 plus 5.5 divided by 4. Okay, so that we get that 4.35 average. Same is true with the second example, 75 plus 79 plus 80 plus 74 plus 76 divided by 5. So we get 76.5. And then frequency table, you have there the area in square meters plus the frequency with the frequency. So 4 times 2 plus 5 times 3 plus 6 times 4 plus 7 times 0 plus 8 times 3. Right? So that we get the average of 5.92. Okay? So that is some more of the examples on getting the average or the mean of the set of data and frequency table. Okay, so much with that. With the mean, we now go to presentation. Data presentation in the form of dot plots. All right, remember we have studied 3 data presentations. We have the dot plots, we have the stem and leaf, and we have also the histogram. Okay, so we will take that one, we will review each. Okay. Okay, one moment. Oh my God, where is that one? Okay. A dot plot is a graphic display. All right, so we know that one, that this data presentation uses dots to represent data. Okay, so in that case, each period, each dot will have a representation. Okay, so this dot plot is applicable for data with smaller values. Okay, so this is just for small presentation because it is not troublesome to put the dot so that it will represent the data that we are going to find out. Okay, so from there, you have there the example of a dot plot. We can actually answer the questions that is being asked based on the data. All right. Okay, so what is the total number of students? Pepe, what is the total number of students? All right, Pepe. Where are you? Pepe, where are you? All right, Poon, what is the total number of students on that? Yes.
16.
16, all right. And what is the most favorite subject? Adi?
Art.
Art, all right. And a subject where no students enroll is reading. Okay, so that is just very simple, all about dot plots. All right, so let us now go to the second type of data presentation, and that is all about the stem and leaf. All right, so if a stem and leaf is used to represent data, and we put like a decimal or we divide it into the numbers, or the data are divided into two, the stem and the leaf. Okay, for example, in a decimal, we can use the whole number as the stem and the decimals as the leaf. Now, in our example on your screen, we use the number of the tens place as the stem and the number on the ones place as the leaves. All right, so that when you are to write the data, for example, you have here this 27. Now take note that we use that number on the tens place as the stem and the number on the ones place as the leaf. All right. So it is shown by this key here. The key will guide us in ordering and in organizing our data. All right. So just like for example, you have here 27. Okay. So the score is 27, and when we put that one into data presentation, then 2 is the stem, 7 is the leaf. All right. Next, we have, for example, another example, you have there 16. 1 is the stem, 6 is the leaf. All right. So, and so on and so forth, so that everything, every data on the table will be put as a stem and leaf presentation. All right. Okay. And based on that stem and leaf presentation, we can actually answer some questions. All right. Oh, just one moment. It is lost. Okay, where is that? Right, here we go. Okay. If you are asked, for example, find the mean or the average of that stem and leaf. Therefore, we will add all the data divided by the total number, which is 14. All right, so in that case, take note, you have there the scores 1 and 2, that means 12. 1 and 6, 16. So 1 and 8, 18. So therefore, we can actually set that one in order, starting from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have there 16, 12, 16, and 18. And with the 2-digit, we have there also. Okay, so represented in a form of a leaf and stem. So that when you are asked for the average, therefore, we add all divided by 14. All right? So it is easy to interpret. Okay. Oh. All right. So if you are asked, what is the lowest score obtained? So it is just easy to answer by looking at the stem and leaf presentation that we do. So from 1, all right, the lowest digit is, of course, 12, based on our presentation. And the highest score is, of course, 51. All right. So that means it is just easy if we organize it in a stem and leaf presentation. Okay. All right. So that is the second type of presentation that we learned. All right. The third type is all about histogram. All right. So if we recall, histogram is just similar with bar graph. But the only difference there is that in a histogram, there is no space between bars. Okay, there is no space between bars, and the area of each bar is not the same. In a bar graph, all our bars are exactly the same in size, but of course not in height, because the height determines the frequency or determines the number. But in a histogram, the size of the bar depends on the density of the data. Okay, so that means if the data is so wide, therefore you have a bigger bar. If the data is small, then you have a smaller bar, because again, the bars represents the data already. All right, take a look on that example. All right, so you have there the mass, and we have also the width or the interval. Interval means the gap between the two. Okay, and interval should be uniform. Again, class interval or intervals should be uniform. All right, so in that case, we have there 20 as the interval. Okay, and the frequency density also, take notice of that one. The frequency density is that, okay, the frequency density can be found by dividing, all right, by dividing the frequency, frequency divided by the width or the interval. Okay, so again, the frequency density is found by dividing the frequency and divided by the interval. So that means it will be the size of our bar if we present it in a horizontal type. Okay. All right. Okay, so in here, it is presented in a vertical way, so that is why the frequency density is on the left side here. But if we use it in here, then actually we can have the size of each bar that will represent it. It is presented in a vertical position. All right, so that means, okay, so you have here, for example, number 1. So this will be the size of the bars. Okay, if we present it in a horizontal way. So that will be the size of our bar. Okay, so again, this will be the size because we divide the frequency by the interval. All right. Okay, so I'm having a hard time here because there is like a problem on the internet. But anyway, it's just okay. I can do it. Okay, so again, that was histogram. Now let us now go to the second topic. After mean and data presentation, we will have this congruence, or especially we focus on congruent triangles. All right. So we can say that two triangles are congruent when they have the same size and of course the same shape. All right. So just like the two triangles there, triangle ABC and triangle EFD or EDF. All right. So we can actually identify whether they are congruent or not. Now take note, if for example, we take up side AB, this side here, if it is the same with side ED or side DE, therefore they are congruent. Side BC, for example, this side here, if it is equal to side EF, then they are congruent. And of course, side AC, the third side, if it is equal to DF, then it is congruent. And the angles will follow. Of course, if the three sides are congruent, therefore it follows that the three angles also are congruent with each other. Okay? Again, if the sides are congruent, it follows that the angles also are congruent because we said that congruence will have the same size and the same shape. Okay, so what are the tests so that we can really identify that the two triangles are congruent? Okay, remember we have 4 tests that we have discussed. First is this one, side, side, side test. Okay, how it is done? Okay, from the name itself, side, so we compare all the sides of the two triangles. All right, so therefore, if side AB is equals to side DE, side BC equals side EF, side AC equals side DF based on the triangle on the screen, then therefore we can say that triangles A, BC, and triangles DEF are congruent. Okay, so again, we consider the 3 sides of the 2 triangles. If all are equal, therefore the 2 triangles are congruent. Okay, so that is the first test, side, side, side test. Second, we have also this side, angle, side test of congruency. When is it applicable? Take note that if, from the name itself, we have their side, angle, and side. So therefore, if side AB, all right, side AB is equals to DE and angle, all right, angle A equals, so this angle, included angle here, equals angle D, and the third side, side AC, all right, AC equals side DF. So if the 2 sides with an angle are equal, therefore they are congruent triangles. Okay, take note that the angle here is included. What do we mean by included? It is in the middle of the 2 sides, so inside. Okay, it is named as included angle because it is inside the 2 sides of the triangle. All right, then we have the next test on angle, side, angle. So this is the opposite, angle, side, and angle. All right. Okay, so how would we how would we see to it that these triangles are congruent? First, angle. All right, so angle A should be equals to angle D, and side AB is equals to side DE. And the third test is that angle B should be equal to angle E. So therefore, if the two angles and the included side, meaning the side between the two angles, are equal, then they are congruent triangle. All right. So angles, side, and angle test. Okay, and the last one is angle, side. Now this test, this side there is excluded, meaning outside. So if angle A equals angle D, and we have angle B equals angle E, and side BC equals side EF, then they are congruent triangles. Take note that this side there is none included or outside the two angles. Outside the two angles. So none included. Okay. So that was all about the test in congruency of triangles. Remember side, side, side. Angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, and we have this, the angle, side test. There are 4 tests that we are talking today. All right. And the last topic that we had just discussed previously is all about parallel lines and angles. Okay, recall the term transversal. Okay. Transversal is that line that intersects two parallel lines. Okay, so any line that crosses or intersects two parallel lines, we call that one transversal. 2 or 3 parallel lines. Okay, so in that case, line T is a transversal to parallel lines M and N. And we know that when parallel lines are transversed by a line, angles will form. All right, so angles are formed. So remember, we studied all about corresponding angles, alternate angles, and interior angles. Okay, so when we say corresponding angle, we follow the letter F formation. All right, again, if we say corresponding angle, we follow the letter F formation. So in that case, if we follow letter F, all right, Grace, what is the corresponding angle of angle 1? Grace, if, all right, what is, following the letter F pattern, what is the corresponding angle of angle 1? Grace?
4.
Yes. What is the corresponding angle of angle 1? Based on the figure.
4.
Again. Angle?
Angle 4.
4, huh? It is alternate. Corresponding. Corresponding angle lies on the same line of the transversal, following letter F pattern. So therefore, angle 1, the corresponding angle is angle, same line, same line. Angle
Angle 2.
Same line of the transversal, not line on the parallel. So therefore, it will be angle 5. All right. Again, letter F formation. So you have their inverted letter F. 1, and we have here 5. Okay. What is the corresponding angle of 6? Adi, what is the corresponding angle of 6? It will be angle
3.
Corresponding angle of 6 is angle 2. All right, correct. So therefore, just remember the patterns of the 3 angles. Corresponding angle follow letter F. Alternate angle follows letter Z formation, and interior angles follow letter C formation. All right. So we have 3 minutes more. Okay, so how is it done? All right, here. Okay, so if, as I have said, if a line transverse a parallel line, all right, the first set of angles will be equals to the second set. So that is why we can say that the corresponding angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal, and interior angles are supplementary. That means that the interior angles will form 180 degrees in total. All right, again, corresponding angles are equal, alternate angles are equal, but interior angles are supplementary to each other. So they form 180 degrees. So if one interior angle is 150 degrees, then the interior angle to that one, okay, the opposite is also is 30 degrees, so that we get the total of 180 degrees. So that is corresponding, alternate, and interior angles of parallel lines transversed by a line. All right. So anyway, we don't have much time anymore, and the test is just easy. Okay, I just make it short. We do not follow the 1 to 30 and 1 to 10 pattern, but we will make it a little bit short only. Okay, so that is just to assess how far have you learned on the 3 topics that we have for midterms. Okay, this is just a check on how do you get all about mean and data presentation, all about congruent triangles, and all about parallel lines and angles. Okay, so that will be all for today, and prepare for a short midterm exam. All right, so thank you so much everyone for your time, and thank you for joining our class this afternoon. All right, so see you again next, and take care of your health always. All right, bye bye everyone.